All right. Happy Monday, everybody. Big waves to you. Big waves to you. Go ahead. You feel free to do it. It'll make you feel good. Happy Monday. I love looking at your faces, seeing your smiling faces, and we got a lot to smile about. The reason that I wanted to put this call together, it's so funny. We put an alert out, and it's like I said, "Oh, it's going to be a well-attended call today." But we really wanted you to be on this call today, and I'm actually towards the end. I'm going to be joined with Coach Todd Roland and some others that if they want to add at the end. I want you to think about it. The reason that I wanted to bring it up is we've got so many exciting things happening across our company. Obviously, we had a earnings report that was released today. And one of the things of being on the Partners Council and speaking with the owners and the executives and the other leaders in the company is we deep down know what we had this feeling of this positive earnings report coming out, but we also know what the future lies ahead of us. I want to kick it off and say that it's so exciting being in a company that has made a pivot in the fact of the way they do business. And we're bringing this direct to the consumer, like to the marketplace with global expansion all over the world, with technology, some that we're getting now, some that's going to be released in July and through the summer months into the fall months that is going to blow your mind. But here's the beauty of this. The world is just now starting to find out that this NewAge company has pivoted from retail to direct to the consumer and being a part of a house of brands and being a part of, RX being a part of NewAge and all the other companies. It's just an exciting time. And it's why we always touch on, we're sitting here at this $500 million company that has chose to make a pivot and go in a way that is going to just grow exponentially over the next few years. I mean, without a doubt, over the next few years, we're expecting tremendous growth. We're expecting a company that we're going to look up and see a $2.5 to $3 billion company and just believe it with all of our heart. And it's because of you. It's because of what you're doing in the field. And so one of the reasons that I wanted to bring this call together today is for a lot of us, we're growing a business. The beauty of this, we're growing a business in a company that's in momentum. I'm going to talk to Todd Roland about that in just a second. But we also have the ability to be owners in the company. And for a lot of us, it's the first time we've had that opportunity to be an owner in the company, meaning I could have one share of their stock and be an owner in the company. And that's huge. That's huge. It's exciting to be able, I call it, this football coach calls it, getting it in the rinse and getting it in the wash, right? You're being able to get it on both sides. And for a lot of us, there's a lot of new things that we will learn having ownership in the company. Like you're going to get brought on the inside of things by having possibly one share of stock in the company. Doesn't matter how many shares you have. And so whether you have shares of stock or you don't have shares of stock, the first thing I want to address today and the reason I want to do this call is a lot of people are receiving letters right now that are saying urgent, kind of like my text message. I did it for that reason that said alert, right? You're receiving messages that said, from in your mail, if you are a shareholder, even if you own one share of stock, you're an owner. And you're receiving a letter that says urgent, and it's talking to you about that they want to reach out to you. They want to have a quick communication with you. And the reason that is because you're going to have the opportunity to vote. Okay. You've got to say. That's the power of being an owner. And so one thing that's happening right now is we had a vote recently come up in our shareholders in the company that they're wanting to move. I'm just going to say this really brief. They're wanting to move accounting to the Delaware. There's a lot of advantages to having your accounting and your finance in the state of Delaware. And so that's one of the things they're wanting to do. Another thing they're wanting to do is increase the number of shares in the company so that they can do more partnerships, more acquisitions. That's going to build even more downlines for us. It's going to build even more of a distribution channel for us. They're also going to increase those shares to be able to do generosity measures for the field, like giving you stock ability, kind of like we did our 4x4 just a month ago. And we gave to the top 100, we gave shares. So the bottom line is, if you get this letter, you should put a big smile on your face, because that lets you know you're an owner. You're an owner in our company on the stock side. And so you can absolutely call that number. And that what they're going to do is they're going to ask you, do you support or do you not support what the board of directors, what the share board of directors are wanting to do. And so you get a choice. You get to say, yes, I agree, or no, I don't, and that's totally up to you. I just want to let you know kind of what that was about. But I want to bring on really quick Todd Roland. Todd was actually just out. If we could screen share and bring us both into this spotlight, I want to bring Todd Roland on, because he was just Friday at our worldwide headquarters in Utah with Brent Willis, with Mark Wilson, with Rick Redford, with all the executives. And Todd, I know I spoke with you on Friday, and you were absolutely excited for all the things that are coming and where we're at right now, and for the earnings report that was getting unleashed. But I just want to turn it to you and ask you kind of what you saw while you were there, but also what we need to do in the field to get our piece of this growing pie as we grow to this $2.5 to $3 billion company.
Yeah, Brent, I want to address a number of things, but you're right. I've maybe never been this excited in my entire life about anything, because although I've built large network marketing businesses, I've never had a chance to what I like to call double dip, meaning own a piece of the company and build my own business. And that's a real unique opportunity. I never dreamed that the stock would come back to $2, because the lower the stock price is, the more I get to buy, the more you get to buy, the more everybody gets to buy. It's the greatest buying opportunity ever. And I see questions that popped up there, and I'm going to give you the answer to every question I've seen so far. I do want to say one thing real quick before I answer the questions, and that is Warren Buffett was interviewed over the weekend, and he was asked, why do more people not invest on your strategy, Warren, with your proven track record? Because he's become one of the richest people in the world by strictly investing. He owns a lot of companies now because that's part of his investing strategy. But he said the reason more people don't do what I do is because most people want to invest to get rich quickly. And my investment strategy is to invest to get rich slowly. And guys, that's kind of where we are. So question number one is, why would they want to add more shares? I saw a lady put in there, would that dilute the stock price? Initially, the answer is maybe. That may be why we pulled back some, because this went out about 6 months ago. So people know, and a lot of times the stock market price things in way in advance. But the reason they're doing that, listen, Brent Willis, Fred Cooper, Mark Wilson, Jeff Yates are the 4 largest shareholders, and so they have more to lose or gain on any decision. And in all of their minds, the reason they're getting more stock shares is to create acquisition capabilities around the world. As your business starts to grow, it's much easier for them to go acquire a company in Colombia or Brazil or Peru that's already licensed, already with infrastructure, already with shipping lanes. And then boom, when you get a rep, it just moves right in. You don't even pay attention, but like you've got this seamless now business growing. Many of you know we're trying to open up South Africa and other things. So the reason for the additional shares is to create the buying power. And as Brent just mentioned, as we all title advance and do different things, have the ability for us to win shares on title advancements and things like that. They have to have shares to be able to do that with. So in all of their minds, the reason they're doing that is because they're going to create such a more valuable company 3, 4, 5 years from now, with the ability to do that, that the stock price will actually be 10, maybe 20-fold in their minds. There's no predictability here. I always tell people I'm not a stock guy. I'm just telling you what they're doing. The value of their company, they want the company to be a $3 billion company 3 years from now. And so those additional shares allow them to do that. And then Brent mentioned moving to Delaware. That's another thing you're going to vote on. They're doing that for a couple of reasons. One, it is structurally better for companies to be centered there. Many of them are, a very high percentage. But the other reason is it also increases the number of people that are allowed to be on the board of directors if it's over there. And that's some different things that they're trying to get done with the new large amount of shareholders that we have from the RX owners and things like that. So anyway, it's kind of I think that most of the owners are a vote yes across the board. I know that's what I did. We are surely not telling anybody how to, you do what you want to do. This is an information only, but Brent, I want to mention one last thing. The goal of the company is to build the largest social selling distribution company in the world. And if you think about Amazon started as a book company. They're now the largest distribution company in the world. And remember, there was a shift where they went from being a book company to selling you and I everything that we want. That is exactly what has happened at NewAge, not at RX, not at Lemieux, but at NewAge. There's really no NewAge people here. We're all NewAge people, but at NewAge, they were started as a new age of beverage and a CBD company, traditionally done through retail, because that's Brent Willis's background, CEO of Coca-Cola, CEO of, or CPO of, I'm sorry, I said that wrong, I'll give you the wrong titles. He was the president, youngest president ever of Coca-Cola, and the CPO of the Belgian beer company that bought Budweiser. But he was sharing with us that his advertising budget alone at Coca-Cola in Latin America was $1 billion per year. And what he found out running a new age of beverage, it's very difficult to compete against those companies. So NewAge, the company itself, pivoted about a year ago. We're all a part of this pivot to we're now going to move everything through us, you and I. So the beneficiaries of the pivot is everybody on this call. And it gives me chill bumps thinking about that I could actually go out and compete one day with an Amazon, compete one day with a Coca-Cola through a distribution network, moving high quality products that aren't type 2 diabetes in a bottle, that are actually helping people and changing the world from a health standpoint. And really important to me, changing people's lives in the world from a financial standpoint. So Brent, special time in history. And thanks for putting this together. I know that I've had about a dozen calls of people getting the letter, wondering why they're getting the letter, what they need to do, that kind of thing. So that was the reason for the call. And Brent, awesome.
Coach, thank you so much. And one of the things I want to ask you, but I want to address something too, is, and first of all, if you got a letter, congratulations. You know what that stands for? You're an owner in our company on the public traded side. You don't have to be. It's totally up to you if you want to be that, but you absolutely are one. So you should put a big smile on your face. And going back to the pivot, Todd, I see right now that we're in a pre-launch mode going into Africa. You know, Mark addressed it on the call this morning to the shareholders that Africa is going to be coming out of the gate this summer, and they're already in pre-launch mode on fire, and they're going to create enormous sound coming out of the gate. Mexico is growing. Colombia and South America is up and running. The United States, North America is up and moving in a very positive way. And the world is starting to hear our name. Like, we have made that pivot, like, and now the world's starting to hear this company they've never heard about called NewAge. And I guess I want to leave with this is, if I'm in the field right now, Todd, you've built multiple million-dollar businesses and helped a lot of other people do it. Like, let's bring it back down to simplicity of what we do in the field. If I want to get my piece of the pie, like if I go, you know what, I'm going all in, no quit for the next 3 years. I'm going to believe in what they say. I'm going to go all into this company with excitement, with being able, you know, to share the health and the finance with people. What do I do to get my piece of the pie, Coach? You talked about this on Saturday. I just want you to say it again, if you don't mind.
It's really so simple. As a matter of fact, I'm doing it right now. This is Matt. We are here at a hotel over at the beach. and I'm doing a one-on-one presentation and some one-on-one training. So I always tell people there's two things available now. There's the opportunity, really three things: the opportunity to change people's life from a health standpoint, if that's your passion. There's an opportunity to build a distribution network to set yourself free financially. And now there's an opportunity to buy and own a part of the company. So fundamentally, Brent, on a daily basis, what I just want to ask myself is have I done any income producing activities? And in my opinion, an income producing activity is setting up an appointment and sharing the business or product with somebody. I like to do it in person, but it can absolutely be done via Zoom, via a three-way call, via watching a video, however you want to do it. If I thought there was a better way than to sit here in person with somebody, I might not be at the hotel right now doing it. I'd just be sitting in my flip-flops at the house doing it. But I think that's the best. So I do for me, you're asking what I would do, not what anybody else would do. But for me, I want to do 3, 4, 5 of those every day for the next 3 years. And I want to create some type of weekly infrastructure where it can be supported via Zooms, via in-person meetings. I want to drive to big events, meaning everybody I get involved, I want them to come to a Monroe, Louisiana Saturday, hear from people that are successful, go to a Batesville, Arkansas in July to a big event, see top earners and doctors speak on the products. And then every Friday when I get paid, you and I were talking about this morning, Brent, is that every Friday when I get paid, especially if I'm part-time and my income's not spoken for yet, instead of going out and buying the new boat or buying the new jet ski or whatever you're going to do, it's a great time now to grab a few shares. You know, if you at $2, if I make $100 next Friday, I get 50 shares. And if 50 shares become worth $50 one day a piece, you've turned $100 to $2,500. If you start building a little bigger paycheck and you've got $1,000 sitting free on a Friday, that's 500 shares, and 500 3 years down the road on a $50 stock is 25,000. So as Warren Buffett says, the other thing to do is every Friday, just invest to get rich slowly as we move a company into the future. I wish I would have known that when Amazon was pivoting from a boot company to a distribution company, and I would have been buying every Friday. I might not be on this Zoom today, Brent, but I won't make that mistake again.
No, it's a special time, Coach. Thanks for being here. And I just want to end with this, piggybacking what you said. You know, I'm in Louisiana this week, and it's my goal over the next 3 years as this company grows and becomes a $2.5, $3 billion company, one of the largest social selling companies in the world, expanding this global footprint all over the world, and really pivoting from that book company, if you will, to that large social selling company as we pivot from what was a retail company to now what we're going to make it. It's getting in front of people. It's being in the presence of prospects, being in the presence of guests, and it's taking a proactive approach. John Ramsey was just on one of my calls the other day, and we studied the word proactive, Coach, and I'm going to leave with this. What our world needs today, no matter if you're in Africa, you're in the United States, you're in Canada, you're in Mexico, is we need to be proactive people. And what does that mean? We only get one body. We only get one health in our body. For $5 a day, we can take the best products in the world and be some of the healthiest people in the world. That's a gift. To take that proactive approach to our health, but also take that proactive approach to our finances. Two of the biggest prayers in the world today is health and finances. To take that proactive approach and say, you know what? I'm going to take these products. I'm going to go out. I'm going to share with about 4 or 5 people every day for the next 3 years. I'm going to take a proactive approach to the future of my finances, and I'm going to get a piece of this pie. And I'm going to do it with excitement, with energy, and with a no-quit attitude. Because what we've perfected in this world is quitting on ourselves. But for the next 3 years, if we'll just all lock arms and choose not to quit on ourselves and to go out and take action and be proactive in our health and our finances, and bring anybody else with us that wants to be proactive. And if they don't want to, take it away from them and move on. If we would do that, then in 3 years, when we're back on this Zoom with tens of thousands of people all over the world, people will call us, they'll call us lucky. They'll call us a lot of names, but we all know that we locked arms together and we helped each other make it to the top. Guys, thank you for being on here today.
Hey,
It's an
hey, Brent,
exciting time to
three
be in
quick
this
questions
company.
that popped in there. I just
Yeah.
want to get an answer to. One is, can anybody purchase stock? The answer is yes. You do it independently on your own through Robinhood or a stockbroker. Number two is, did everyone receive a letter? I can't answer that question. You know the answer, Brent. I don't know if you had to have a certain amount of shares or not.
If you did not vote what they call a proxy, then they probably are trying to reach out to you, or they're trying to send you a letter. It's okay if you don't call, but just know if they're sending you that letter, it's okay to call. It is actually a very positive thing.
And then the third thing, Brent, is the launch of Quick Clicks. Brent, I know that's going into beta testing, but I'm not sure they have an actual launch date still. I think we're safe to say it's probably at least 60 days out minimum from a full-blown launch.
Yes, I would say 60 days. And here's what I would tell everybody, and the Partners Council knows about this, but there are a lot of exciting things coming in a lot of arenas through this summer. So if you want to open a Christmas present every week of this summer, like, you're going to get that opportunity. It's really exciting what we got coming. Coach, you
Brent,
want to touch on that?
I got to mention this one last thing. Talking about us pivoting now, our company pivoting to a distribution company around the world. Just by purely accidental situation, I was in Utah with a gentleman and got the privilege to be around Deanna all day and Brent for about 2 hours. But I'm sworn to secrecy. I cannot. I mean, because they told me you're the only person that knows. So if it gets out of this room, we'll know who said it. I will just tell you, some of the stuff that is coming blows my mind. I'm talking about things you can't imagine that are already in production. I'm talking about lines we already have being enhanced. As Mark Wilson put it, there's about 4 different products that are going to launch in the next 6 months that he think are industry-changing products. And I already think we've got more than we need to build a $10 billion company. But for somebody always waiting on the next best thing, you've never been in a better company, because they've got them lined up like no tomorrow, Brent.
Well, and I'll add to that, Todd, because they kind of said it today on the call. We not only are leading the cutting edge in a lot of our products, but we're actually taking on and going, you know what, we're going to develop our own cutting edge with our scientists and without guys. We're on the verge of something that I have to pinch myself, because I didn't realize 2 years ago I was getting involved with this. Here's the deal. Here's the remedy, or where we all need to be today is plug in, get active, get on the calls, get people that is around you in your network, on social media, in your communities, get them to start hearing about the name NewAge, because the rollouts that are coming are just incredible. And it'll show you why we're going to be the largest social selling company in our sector. So, Coach, any final thoughts?
Nothing other than I saw a couple questions they were asking specifics on products. I will just tell you, if it's in the nutrition, skincare, and other realms too, I'm talking about, like, if it's valuable to the marketplace, it's going to be coming through our company. So if you want it, there's going to be at some point down the road, you're going to have the ability to get it through yourself and sell it to others. So what we want to do before that happens, like if I want a particular product for my own body, that tells me a lot of other people would want it. Don't sit around waiting on that one product for your own body. Get your distribution network built, so when it launches, boom, now you can move that particular product all around the universe.
And Coach, my final thoughts is going to be this. When you say don't sit around either, don't sit around and wait for it to be perfect. Okay. Coach would tell you right now, he don't even know how to log into his back office. And I'm not even joking. Like he is one of the most amazing builders I've ever been around in my life, but he focuses on a few key things that drives his whole business. And I'm kind of joking about logging into his back office, but here's what I'll tell you. Don't get caught up in the little things. Don't get caught up in waiting, going, well, this training's got to come out. This comp plan's got to come, like all this stuff. Here's what you need to know right now. get people tuned in to what we are doing with excitement, and then plug them into somebody. Todd Roland is constantly plugging guests in to me, to Aaron Decker, to Chris Doyle, to Ken Bailey. I mean, like, he's all the time putting somebody on the phone with us at his level. So, Coach, any final thoughts on that? I know I've taken up too much of your time. I'll let everybody go.
No, Brent, I mean, that's really a key for me. I, no matter how long I do this, I always feel like that the validations in people, collaboratively talking together. So although I've been full-time for 20 years, it could probably answer most questions I'm asked. I love to get those inputs. It seems to help so much on the front lines. And I encourage everybody out there, just set up the presentation, play the video, and get 2 or 3 people to validate for you. And you cannot believe the network you can build over time, and drive to the big event. And Brent, I'll be remiss if I don't say this one thing, because I thought about it all weekend. I don't sit still a lot, but because it was Mother's Day, I sat still yesterday. I just can't ever get my brain to sit with me. So it started chasing and running. And I was listening to YouTube videos, but I always tell people, go do something for yourself. When you have a bad day or a bad moment, or you question your sanity, ask yourself where you really want to be in life. What am I trying to get done? Why did I join this company? What did I start? And can I do it without this company? The answer for me, a high school football coach that barely got out of college, I limped out to get a coaching job. The answer for me is, I don't really have any other place I could go make millions of dollars. Network marketing is my answer. You may be an engineer or a genius, or have your parents own a company, but if you're a normal person like me, this is a vehicle to get you where you want to be. And in my opinion, the best vehicle that's ever existed. I don't think there's another one out there on planet Earth that would allow somebody, Brent, just pure sweat equity. I mean, even if you came in with an ultimate $2,000 spent, which you don't have to, that's still, from a business standpoint, I mean, $2,000 in the stock market, and unless you strike gold, it's never going to become something huge for the next 50 years. But $2,000 a year in sweat equity for about 5 years, helping people change their lives. And Brent, you rewrite the whole storybook on your life. Just ask Brent Palmer's kids that grew up with him coaching high school football, wear the same pair of shoes for 8 months like mine did, until now. They probably buy a new pair of shoes about every 3 days. Not that they do that, but they could now. And it's just because Brent made a decision, he stuck with it, and he got good at it, like many of you out there are doing.
Coach, thank you so much for that. And at the end of the day, here's what we vow to you. Our company is going to light the scoreboard up. We just want each and every one of you to go with us to that mountaintop. And that's why we're bringing you on calls like this. We will do our part and bring you communication, and always be communicating with you in the field, because we know communication wins in the end. And so go out and get what's yours. Go out and get what's yours for you and your family. Coach Roland, thanks so much for being on today. Thanks for your time. Guys, we love you. We're grateful for you, and we appreciate you. Thanks for all you're doing.
Thank you so much. Blessings.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.